Hi guys, this is your stock doc and I am back. But of course, I'm not talking about stocks, I'm talking about student loans, right? That's like the main thing that's happening. And I wanted to just put something out there for, my colleagues, my friends, just to let them know what's going on and just a few options. Now, it's a lot, and I did a ton of research over like a month. And pretty much, if you guys have any questions, you can message me and I can, answer those questions. But it's a whole lot to cover. So I'm just going to cover the basics that I feel like, people are more interested in. Okay, so the first thing that's happening is Trump is making sure that all loans are going into default if it's not being paid, right? So that means that it's going to be going on your credit. They could start garnishing your paycheck and, pretty much negative stuff. Now, of course, we know if stuff going on our credit, it will make it difficult for us to buy homes, difficult to buy cars, or even if we're able to do that, then the interest rate for us will be like super high. So definitely something you want to consider. Now, how to know if you're in default? Well, if you fail to make a payment after 9 months for federal, right? So federal and the private loans are completely separate. So the federal loans give you 9 months to go into default, and the private loans give you 3 months. Now, how to get back on track if you did go into default, right? Because that's a big deal. If you did go into default, you can get back on track. There are a few steps that you have to take. So the first step that you can take is loan rehabilitation. Now, this is something that is provided by, the student loan organization. And this is making consecutive payments based on income, right? So this is a one-time opportunity where it gives you the chance to make 9 payments consecutively, whatever income or whatever payments you guys agreed upon. You have to pay it for 9 months consecutively, and that gets you back on track, gets you out of the ferment, and also it removes it off your credit, right? Another option is to consolidate your loan. Now, the loan consolidation is pretty much if you have like multiple loans, which if, for my nurses, doctors, colleagues, we went to school for an extreme amount of time with multiple different loans. So we can consolidate those, and that will actually take you out of the ferment. However, it still stays on your credit. It doesn't remove, it still stays on your credit history, but it takes you out of the ferment. And in addition to that, this leads me into deferment, right? Now, for whoever is struggling to pay their loans at this point in time, there are ways to kind of go around that. We all, sometimes we all need a little bit of break. Now, after you're finished with schooling, you get a year, right? They give you a year of forbearance, which is the forbearance is to stop payments or make reduced payments for a fixed period. And when we're finished with school, we get a year for that. Now, of course, if you talk to your student loan officers, sometimes they'll extend that. They're workable. I've called them a few times. They extended my forbearance. And, some of them are easy to talk to. Honestly, I never had an issue with them. So you can go into forbearance. You could just talk to your loan officer about that. And the next one is deferment. Now, the first thing in deferment that I just want to get out the way is if you have been in school, right? Or if you're enrolled in school, I should say. If you're enrolled in school, we know that we don't have to make any payments on our loans, right? And once again, when you exit school, then you have a year. Another thing that could qualify you for the deferment, which I did not know this, it was, surprising to me. So hopefully this can help someone, is if you were diagnosed with cancer patients, and you're getting treatments, you can qualify for the deferment. So once again, if any of my friends or colleagues are out there, going through this, and you have to pay your student loans, this is something that you can talk to your loan officer about and get deferment, right? If you're going through cancer treatments, or if you're diagnosed, or like a severe injury. Another that qualifies for deferment is unemployment, right? If you don't have not have any cash coming in, you can't pay anything. So it doesn't matter, like, if they try to, take the money out of your account, there's nothing there. So unemployment automatically qualifies you for deferment. And hardships. So hardship would be if, you have all these bills that you're paying, your income can't cover your bills plus paying student loans. So they will work with you on that, right? And give you deferment and until you're able to get back on track. Now, there are just a few things I wanted to point out for people who are already making payments. There's a bunch of stuff. You have IDR, which is the income-driven repayment plan. You have SAVE, which is what the government is going after right now, which is the saving on a valuable education. And also, Trump is attacking public service loan forgiveness, which is the PSLF, right? Now, the PLSF is, you get 10 years of qualified payments. And this is for people like my nursing friends, right? Where you have to go to school for a significant amount of time, and they give you a 10-year payment plan with a, of course, reduction, and the rest of the balance will be thrown out, basically. So with that, the qualification is you would have to work for an organization that provides public service to the underserved. Right? So, for example, my friend and I, we work going out into the community, far out in the community, where we provide wellness checks, right? And this is just us checking on them, making sure that they're taking care of their meds, making sure that they're keeping up with their appointments, and, doing stuff like that, providing service to the underserved community really helps. Right? It helps the community, it helps us, and it helps America overall. So the fact that this is being attacked is pretty odd. And of course, there are a few things on there that were mentioned about certain company, and that's why that's why he's attacking it. But I'm not going to get into that. There's nothing going on right now, so we don't have to worry about that. But anyways, the next thing I wanted to talk about was auto payments. Whoever is doing auto payments, you probably want to take it off auto pay and just set a reminder to pay it yourself, because a lot of people are seeing an increase in their loan repayments. And there is no notification. If you're paying $500 a month, next thing you know, they're taking out $1,500, right? And that's due to the increase. Because if you're on certain IDR plans, Some of the IDR plans give you from 1 to 10%, right? It caps at 10%, and it forgives it after 20 to 25 years. But now with this new IBR plan or ICR plan, it's going up to 15 to 25% of your income, and you could just see money coming out of your account with your auto pay that you had no idea was going to happen. So you definitely want to make sure, just for now, until, we figure stuff out, you take it off auto pay. This is Trump's last term, so maybe, if you could defer payments for a while until he comes out of office and, see what happens. Now, deferring payments, unfortunately, does not count towards people who are doing the PSLF payments. Once you're deferred, it doesn't go towards those payments, right? And you would have to pay, I think, 120 qualifying payments to be taken for the loan to be thrown out. But if you're in deferment, that does not count. But they also have a program currently where you can buy back, right? You could buy back the month's loss, but it's a lot of thing that goes into that. So if you guys want more information on all those IDRs, PSLF, save, deferments and stuff like that, just reach out to me and I can, give you more info, in-depth info on those things. So let's see what else I wanted to cover. Oh, one of the things is to get a 3-year deferment. It's a 3-year deferment. That's a long time. Trump will be out of office by then, and then we could figure out what we're gonna do. To get a 3-year deferment, you can consolidate your loan, right? And with that consolidation, it would be considered a new loan, and that puts you in deferment for 3 years. That's a big deal. Now, the downside to that is, of course, interest is still going to be accrued. Interest is probably going to be more, but we'll see what happens. Now, me, I am not fazed by this, to be honest with you. I am not fazed by student loans, paying off student loans. Not that I'm rich, but I prefer my quality of life, right? It's about quality of life versus working to, pay off student loans. I prefer to live my life, take my time. I'm living my soft life. And whatever I can do to get the minimum payment or to get deferments, I will do that. I will pay loans, pay the minimum payment until whenever. And of course, if you pass away, the loan goes with you, right? So you could be paying on a loan, working really hard to pay off your loan, and halfway you die through it, and that's it. The loan is thrown out and you work all those years hard for nothing. I am not going to be skipping vacations to pay student loans. I'm not going to be skipping meals. I'm not going to be working extra to pay student. I'm not doing any of that. Okay? I'm going to be living my best life, and I pay what I pay. So, with that said, if you guys have any questions, you can give me a call. Or send me a message and I could get into more details. But that's it, guys. I hope you have a great Sunday. And this is a message from your stock doc. And I guess I'll be moving forward with stock information as of whenever. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.